Q&As. Thank you again for joining. Welcome to SoWhereTo Access Sales Support session for suppliers. In this sense, when we talk about suppliers, we are saying from a brand perspective. So, in other words, whether you are a personal brand or you are a business brand. So, I'm just going to switch on the camera so you can just see the face behind the name and formally introduce yourself. So my name is Tato Mpapo. I am the founder of SoWhereTo Access, also behind Atlafila Marketing Solutions. I have a team here, so we have Tapiso, who's part of our team as Atlafila. We also have Panak Kumalo, who is our partner from the African Cooperative Desk, a very strategic partner who's come in on the ground, and many may be here because of him. And Iku essentially is our point of contact when it comes to all the brands from the retail sector into the platform from the township. So once again, welcome everyone. I'm going to start by going through this the platform, introducing the mission behind what we do and why we do it. And then please do let me know if you can hear clearly. It would help because it's raining at the moment. So the sound is kind of affected. Okay, awesome. Zulu, you mind just putting in the chat and then we'll have a look at that. And then we will then open up the Q&As at a specific point so that we can go through the full session and then open it up for conversation. So we are here for quite a while. So please note that every question will be answered and everyone is coming to be addressed. So if that's okay with you, please can you drop in the chat and we'll be engaging from there. Thank you. Okay, so as a way to access, we are here to bridge the gap for African brands to actually have global procurement. So that is the ultimate. Obviously, there's procurement from a local level, meaning South Africa, meaning the region that we're in. Um, in different parts of South Africa, like Gauteng, which is mostly everyone in the room here coming from this region. So townships and African brands. So cultural richness. We curated in the generational wealth. Our why we created the platform was to support our women township as well as youth-owned brands, and we expanded and we looked at obviously being inclusive and making sure that everyone is still included. So whether you are a male, okay, so hearing that, I'm seeing Eva, you're not able to hear? Okay, I'm just going to just switch the mic. Okay, is this clear now for everyone? Okay, just a thumbs up. Thank you, Eva. Okay. Okay, noted, Brendan. Thank you for that. It's raining this side, and now it's kind of quieting down, so it's allowed us to go through the session right now. So I'll just go straight into it and just explain actually operates. So what happens is customers come, voice, essentially all of that is immediate and a payment can then be done. So from there we have delivery or collection. So at the moment our collection point in Soweto, and then the delivery is done between ourselves and suppliers. We have an arrangement, because if it's local, then we've got a partner, with Shopify, which is able to distribute food, for example, like we spoke about earlier before everyone joined, with one of our suppliers on the call. So essentially, with the delivery component at the moment, it will be automated once we understand the different types of products and service and products that will be presenting on the platform and where everyone is from. So we then have featured brands. So at the moment, we have 3 other brands that are with us, signed up already. And this essentially is more about who we are, what we stand for, what are our core values. So with innovation, global connection, social impact, we are here to make sure that our society is essentially nurtured through local talents and ensuring that businesses grow sustainably. So I'm just going to go straight into our brand process. So as you then, just to get to the point where you sign up as a brand, you essentially go, and that's where you sign up as a brand. So once you've signed up as a brand, this essentially is where the customer will then see. So we'll come back to revisit how the brand sign up process is. At the moment, we are at a customer facing point and experience, which is how, as a supplier, you interface with the platform, which no one outside sees unless they signed up on the platform. Okay, so I'll just go into our brand as an example. So when you land on brands, which comes from the homepage, you then see all businesses and all personal brands. So I'm just going to, for the purpose of demonstrating, go into our brand as Atlahila Marketing. So from there, you've got products and you've also got services. So you then have services where it filters just the services that the brand has or the products, which are then can be also digital products. It depends how it would be depicted. So the difference between the two, I'll just show using the Revive brand because it's a beauty and skincare brand. So these are tangible products instead of just the digital products that we have as AMS, besides the branding collateral. So as a company that has physical products, this is essentially how the products would be displayed. So you browse through, a user can love, automatically add it to cart, and you'll see it at the top there, or they can actually message to specifically ask about the product, right? So this message then comes to you on the other side of the brand experience. So we'll just go through that so you can see where the messages appear when we get to the brand CMS. So When we get back to all brands, as mentioned, we have just the businesses side. So we'll go through that personal side, and then we can go to services. So how services are displayed, it's slightly, well, significantly different to how products are displayed. So for example, design services, when you open up, you have tiers. So this is also for companies that have packages, as an example. So accounting would be a good business, as an example, that would have a tier. So in our case, we have the first base tier. You put your pricing, you put your description, so a customer can add the number of of services that they'd like from the package, the number of packages, for example, or as a tier itself, they could just add it directly to cart from here, and then it adds up all in there. So you are able to then have different tiers. You can have 3 tiers, you can have 2, or just 1. So what happens is when a customer then checks out, they then get to the cart, before checkout, they get to the cart, and that's where they're able to also say, okay, based on the shopping experience, okay, we can still get more of that because it helps to see the total at this point, and then they're able to then adjust and say, okay, I've got some more budget, or you can remove a product from the cart, and then proceed to checkout. So before proceeding to checkout, I'd like to just demonstrate that we have this invoice request option. So this is specifically for businesses in the procurement space, because when businesses procure, they usually don't add their card details online, right? So this enables corporates to then essentially procure our products and services. So the corporate or the procurement head would put in their details. They'll put in all their numbers. So essentially, I'll just put in our details there just to demonstrate how that would be. Just going to put their AMS again and then leave that open. So for it to actually go through, we'd have to put an address. So in this instance, I'll just put specifically just the area. Okay, and then you're able to request for an invoice. So the business essentially then instantly receives the invoice on the order side. So this is the user side, as mentioned. So the user essentially will be able to go and view the invoice. And then once they're happy, they can download it and obviously then send it through for payment. So I'll just close this section, go back to the brand side, and just show how the personal brand experience looks like. So it's quite similar because these are offers. So you can also have um, displayed your offers displayed as services. So this would be also very good for artists, because artists don't necessarily have a business. At the same time, they are a person that has a brand and may not even be under their own particular name. So this becomes very much specific to an individual who's come out and they have products and services, except they're not officially a business, or they don't identify themselves as a business. So we then go to offers as an example. So in this case, everything that's here is essentially a service. It's just as you've seen before, services are displayed differently. So, for example, this is how you then see it. You've got a picture of the item. We always make we make sure that all our images are of high quality. So in this case, it means sending all images, and then we'll ensure that the brand is consistently appearing well across the platform. And then once again, so there's a description and there's also a control of quantity. So businesses or individuals that are buying can essentially control the quantity over here. It goes to cart, and then it obviously follows the same process we spoke about. So now, this is the customer side. Now, moving from, okay, before we move on to the brand experience, just want to show you how the shop experience is. So this is where all the products are then displayed. This will evolve as we go along, because what we're doing here is we're doing a lot more of categorization. But what we could do, what the user can do at the moment is also select the businesses that like to see from here, that like they can also select whether they just want to see services, and then it collects all the services that are on the platform. They can also choose to look at this shop as part of just the category. So if we had multiple beauty and health and personal care brands, then all of them would then appear. So in this case, it's a product. So it will all then appear here, right? So you're able to then filter the experience to get exactly what you want to see. So that's how the shop experience currently is. And as mentioned, it will evolve. So let's say now you are ready to sign up as a brand. This is where you go and essentially choose whether you're a business or a personal brand. So the form is the same. It's just for us, it becomes allocated differently as you see over there. So you enter your details, so your name, and then the business details. The brand name becomes very important to get accurately. All this information we get to then obviously know about you, get your details, and know where to deliver, where to actually allocate every single transaction, right? So this form will expand to add banking details. So at the moment, it's very important to know that as a the brand agent that essentially is managing the brand. So in this instance, we've got our partners, as mentioned, ACD. So you would then select ACD. Please excuse the background. Do drop in the chat if you can still hear fine. I'll increase the volume. Contact details. And then the brand image is the logo. So this is the logo of the business that is then put up as a brand image, as we've seen earlier. Here, please describe what the products are. So as we spoke about earlier, restaurants, selling food, the type of food, the winery, that, for example. So this is where you describe the products that will be put up under the brand. This is the brand description. So we are a women-only brand. We cater for young females. This is an example of how the description would be for us. Please excuse. So who is behind the brand? Your role? Are you the owner? Are you the project manager? What is your role behind the brand? What's the business type? Is it a private company? Is it an online business? Are you a JV? And then the industry you're in. And obviously, if there is nothing on the list that is suitable for the brand, please do select other. Then we would in take it up with you later to understand the brand further. So before even going anywhere, it'd be important to just have a look at the terms of service. This is essentially how we operate. So that's just the list, a very short list, brief list of how we operate. And then you would click agree. So just escape, tick, and then create the brand. So this sends us a message that obviously lets us know now that the brand is up. So it won't automatically be online. The brand would then have to be evaluated and then approved for us to actually have it on the platform. Okay. So now this is created a brand, it's approved, and we have an account. So you'll be allocated an email address. So it would be the brand name with the email address, SoWhereToAccess.com. And then that's where you get to manage the brand. So you'll see all your details over there. And this is where you get to add a product or a service. Okay, thank you, Brandon. We'll check out the recording and I'll send it through. Okay, so this is where you get to add a product and a service. I'm just going to pause for a moment and just find out, just to see if everyone can still hear because it's raining quite hard now. Please thumbs up. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Nasensia. Okay, so just to continue, and if there are any questions so far, please do drop them in the chat, but we will have our Q&A. All right, so now the brand experience. Thank you. As you have, this is the back end, so no one sees this side except you as a brand owner or the person behind the brand as a whatever whichever role you play in the business that's essentially bringing and managing the brand online. So you can add a product, right? You've got your product name. You'll then select the category. You'll add your description, have your price. What's the stock level? Is it 30? Is it 100? Is it 300? And then the product image. So at the moment, this is the part that we play in terms of making sure that the brand image is consistent throughout the platform. So please select high quality images so that we can always appear as professional, and show the quality that we have through visual representation. So then once you're done, this is just all you require. You then add the product. So a product on the back end looks like this. Okay, so you are also able to select multiple images of the product so that when someone goes onto the product, they can see the different angles, or maybe like in this case, there are a couple of elements that are packaged within a single product, like a logo pack, for example. So this is essentially a filled inside, and that's really all to the product addition side. Okay, so now we're going to the services. I'll just go back to our design services. This is how it looks like at the back. Okay, where you have, okay, so before going to that, just want to show you, we then have add your service, and it's quite similar, right? It's just you make sure that it's the base amount first, and then add the service. Okay, so going to how the service looks. So once you have the service, you're able to remove it, you're able to edit it, um, or expand, right? So what we can do is perhaps just want to go to a product we can remove. So we can go through here as an example, and we can delete this product. So when you delete it, it obviously prompts you and then it goes away immediately, right? So it already told us that, okay, now product is automatically deleted. And then once you, so, and now we no longer have our website um, updates, right? Service or products in this sense. Okay, so now we're just going back to how to add a service because it's much more complex. You would require more information and tiers because I'm sure the businesses that relate to this already know the elements and the descriptions that go into it. So um, what you first do is you add a tier, right? So as we saw with the first part. So once you have a tier, um, once you have it here, I'm just going to show this version. Once you have it here at the moment, you have your price, and then if your product, if your service is on sale, you then have an original price as well as a current price. So, for example, if this price, the original price was 1,500, um, then there will obviously be a difference, and the difference becomes the sale, right? So that the customer will see. So you obviously add your details, and how you add these details, you add a feature, and then it will just essentially create another line for you to then add all the descriptions that fall within the base side of the service. Okay, so this is an example. I'll just put it here as for us to see how it looks on the other side because everything that is done on the platform is instant. So when we save these changes, we get to then see them on the other side. So I'll just save these changes, okay, and then we can go back to view how it is. So as you can see, the customer then sees that they save 600 rand because that's how much it was. And every description that you add, it becomes clean. Yeah, just want to copy that. We can remove a whole tier. We can essentially add, right? So it's okay to have one tier or just a second tier and not have a premium option. But obviously, the more you have, the more you can sell. So it's always advisable to fill up your store essentially so that there are more opportunity points for sales. So I'll just pause right there. Before I do, this is essentially where the messages come. So uh, when a when a user or a customer comes onto your product and they send a message, essentially this is where you'll get to see all your messages. And what's great is that you'll know exactly which product is being inquired, and then you're able to respond to the message from there immediately, and they also can do the same immediately. So what I'll do is I'll open it up, I'll open the mics up so that we can have a chat, and then take it from there. Okay, please do raise your hand if you have any questions. If you will just open up the mic. Zulu, are you able to unmute? Just enable the mic, or perhaps the right connection. Professor, can you please unmute to check? Okay, everything's fine. Okay, it's the connection. Thank you. Are you with us? Are you back? Oh yes, you had to rejoin because of the mic. Mr. Zero, please unmute. Okay, while we're getting a response from there, is there anyone else who has another hand with a question? Is everyone clear so far with how the platform operates? No question. Eva, good to see you again. Okay, so essentially, what we've created this platform for is so that we can come in as a collective and go into the market. So at the moment, we're having the 30 brands on the platform. We'll go into the corporate space if obviously that speaks to the brand. So if you have a brand that you'd like to take to an environment such as, for example, the corporate space, then we come in and would sell the brand to that specific market. If you have a consumer type of market, would look into where your market is and obviously directly sell to that market. So the advantage about what we offer is the sales support side, where we also include um, promotional the promotional side, which has advertising. So I just want to show the additional side of if you want more than just being on the platform, we've got um, we've got sales support subscriptions that essentially assist when it comes to consultation and training, the digital marketing training, and just marketing consultations. So with 150 a month, essentially it unlocks for us to have those conversations about the brand, give input and advise, right? So with 300 rand a month, this is over and above being on the platform. We then provide content. So we design for the brand. We also increase the consultation and the training. But then every month, you've got social media content that is provided for the brand. So if you're looking for more than that and we want to have a grander brand presence online, then we develop websites as well. So we would develop a site, you'd have your trainings, you'd have your consultations, we'd host the website, we'd also provide professional emails so that the team can also have the business email if that's something that you don't already own, and obviously support with the social media content as well. So these are just the additional So this is just the additional support we can provide over and above being on the platform. Should you choose to want to expand and go beyond, I just want to just say, Zulu Holdings, are you back with us? Or you can just type in the chat the question there. Otherwise, thank you for joining, everyone. If you do want to be on this journey with us, please do get in touch. If you don't already have our WhatsApp, we'll drop it in. It's also at the bottom of the the site. So Tipiso has already shared the site's address. So beyond this will be next on a mobile platform. So this is the web application, and we're moving on to the mobile app and essentially expanding our reach. So with that said, just want to thank you for the time you've taken to be on this call with us. And if there aren't any questions, you're obviously welcome to engage with us further. Otherwise, we are still here to take in any further comments and questions. We won't log off now. We're still there. Thank you.